Good evening, Ms. Briand, Ms. Maloney, faculty, staff, esteemed guests, and the graduates of 2024. Thank you for having me. I am truly honored to be part of your special day. I've been able to look back on my time at Sacred Heart, and I am struck by how much has changed. In the past 11 years, Sacred Heart has added a grade 12 program, welcomed boarders back in the 4th floor where the teacher's lounge used to be, and built this beautiful new auditorium. The uniforms have also evolved in the last 11 years, and they now include options that we didn't have, like pants. And just as Sacred Heart has transformed, so have we. Think back to your first year here. Likely in secondary 1. Was your hair the same? Did you have the same friends? What about the same interests? Most likely the answer is no, and you have indeed grown and changed during your time here at Sacred Heart. You've learned how to study, a skill that has prepared you for your bright futures, regardless of what your next steps are. You've developed the ability to socialize and form meaningful connections with your peers, a skill that will help you build friendships and network throughout your careers. I am fortunate to still be best friends with the girls I met here at Sacred Heart. We've supported each other through many stages of life and have celebrated countless milestones together. And I really hope that you get to experience this as well. You've also built your time management skills through all of your extracurricular activities. This skill will be invaluable as you move forward, helping you manage multiple responsibilities with confidence. And I owe much of my success to the time management skills that I developed here at Sacred Heart, where I immersed myself in so many activities that allowed me to discover my passions. As you reflect on your 5 years at Sacred Heart, be proud of how far you've come. You've successfully navigated high school, a historically challenging thing to do, and you even did it through a global pandemic. I believe this experience dealt you a hand of skills that no other generation has seen before, and I can't wait to see what you do with them. Now take a few moments and sit with your pride. Pat yourself on the shoulder and congratulate yourself and your neighbor. You did it. Today, I want to share with you 3 valuable lessons that I've learned from life that I believe will be helpful to you as you embark on your journey beyond the safety of these thick stone walls. Leaving high school is both an exciting and intimidating time. Your future is a blank book, and you are the author. You get to choose what comes next. And guess what? You don't need to get it right the first time. This next phase of your life is thrilling because it allows you to explore your interests before the weight of adult responsibilities set in. Take the time to try different activities, read various types of books, experiment with different types of art or sports. And my first piece of advice is, follow your passions. When deciding which activities to pursue, which classes to take, or which part-time job to accept, think about what fulfills you. What brings you joy? And what would you continue doing when it gets really challenging? It might take multiple attempts to find what's right for you at each stage, much like perfecting a recipe before it satisfies your palate. For me, following my passions opened doors to opportunities that I never even imagined existed. In high school, I did it all. I was involved in robotics, in Christmas wishes, in sports. I excelled in all my classes. However, when I got to CEGEP, I struggled to maintain this momentum. I took on a full course load, I led 3 clubs, I played soccer, and I worked part-time. But this overcommitment to extracurriculars affected my grades and consequently my goal of going to pre-med. So I redirected and I decided to go and pursue a bachelor's degree instead. In my first semester at McGill, I focused solely on academics. I didn't join any clubs and I quit my part-time job. And although I achieved the best grades of my life, I felt very unfulfilled and my mental health suffered significantly. I realized then that I needed to reignite my passion for learning. So
So the following semester, I joined some clubs that interested me, including the McGill Students for Geriatric Health Club, inspired by my love for my grandma and my interest in helping her age healthily. Through this club, I discovered my passion for geriatric health and began volunteering in a research lab that studied depression in older adults. And through the rest of my undergraduate degree, I tried to maintain this intricate balance of studying and extracurriculars, and eventually my mental health improved. I was happier and more excited to learn, even if my grades weren't as high. My work in that lab led me to realize how much I love research, and it inspired me to pursue research full-time in another type of lab. I began as a summer volunteer, studying how brain cells are affected by depression. And again, this experience truly opened my eyes. But this time, I found the amazing world of neuroscience. And I enrolled in a master's program and then a PhD in this lab. And during my graduate studies, I discovered a passion for communicating science to non-scientists. I joined groups and training programs that helped me improve my science communication skills, and eventually started my own science communication Instagram account in early 2022. And since then, I've been sharing my passion for science online, mentoring younger graduate students, providing them with study tips and content about career development. And earlier this year, my Instagram really took off, and I find myself now with 70,700 followers and a profitable business that I love running. Remember, you have time to experiment with your interests and find the balance that works for you. Just like a recipe, you can try different ingredients, different methods, and see what works best for you. If something isn't working, change it. Don't be afraid to try something new and see how it goes. Different things can work at different times in your life. What worked for me in high school did not work for me during my grad studies or in CEGEP. Be flexible and willing to adjust your approach as you grow and as your circumstances change. This is your journey, and it's okay to take the time and find what truly makes you happy and fulfilled. Life can be incredibly challenging at times. You may have already faced hardships that you never anticipated, yet you've made it through. And these difficult experiences have helped you build resilience for future obstacles. My second piece of advice is build your resilience before the hardships come. Firstly, foster your mental health. Take care of yourself and be proactive. You can do this by following your passions and finding joy in your daily experiences. Remember to take breaks. Honestly, I'm not the best example of this, but if I could learn one thing from my own speech today, it would be this. You can't keep going if there's no gas left in the tank. The car will eventually stop, and you will be forced to refill. So instead, plan your trip like you're an electric car. Schedule in pit stops where you can charge, meaning plan activities into your busy schedule that recharge your battery and rejuvenate you. Go to therapy. As a mental health researcher, I know that therapy can be preventative, not just reactive. Build your toolbox now so that you are prepared for future challenges. It's easier to work on yourself before you're in a crisis. Therapy fosters personal growth and prepares you for what's ahead. I waited until I was mentally unwell to seek therapy for the first time, making my battle an even harder one. What I didn't share before is that I nearly dropped out of my graduate school during my master's because although I loved my research, I felt like I didn't belong. That I got there by chance, and that everyone around me was much smarter than I was. I was struggling with something called imposter syndrome. And once I finally went to therapy and worked on my self-esteem, it allowed me to realize that I deserved to be where I am. That I was prepared to be where I was, thanks to Sacred. And I was ready for all of the challenges ahead of me. Cultivate your support system. You deserve love, and you deserve to be supported. So pick and choose your support system wisely. If someone isn't treating you well or supporting you the way that you need, don't hesitate to set boundaries that protect your peace. During tough times, you will need people to count on. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. Everybody needs it. My final piece of advice is to stay curious and be adaptable. Whether you're pursuing science, art, engineering, fashion, or philosophy, your curiosity and willingness to ask questions will drive your success. Don't settle for passive learning. Find what you're passionate about and keep exploring it, no matter the field. This drive to learn will open doors to new opportunities, introduce you to new people, and lead you to new destinations. Being curious means questioning everything. For example, many people believe that humans only use 10% of their brains at any given time. As a neuroscientist, I stand before you to tell you this is completely false. But it's still one of the most common myths about the brain. In reality, our brains are constantly active, regulating, sensing, and interpreting the outside world. Not only does this demonstrate the importance of questioning what you read and hear, but it shows you how misinformation spreads like wildfire, because people often don't question what they read. Be curious about the world around you. Question the sources of information and formulate your own opinions. As Sacred Heart graduates, you are privileged to be educated and part of a community actively engaged in making the world a better place. Do what you believe is right. I have great faith in you and your generation's ability to improve society for everyone. As Sacred Ladies, you are well equipped for this journey. By staying curious, you remain open to new ideas and perspectives, making you adaptable and ready to embrace change rather than fear it. In our rapidly evolving world, adaptability is crucial and is as crucial as the desire to learn. When faced with new challenges or opportunities, your curiosity will drive you to explore, while your adaptability will empower you to navigate and thrive in new circumstances. As I stand before you, sharing my experiences and advice, I can't help but reflect on how these words embody the mission and goals of the Sacred Heart School that guided me through my time here and through the past 11 years. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2024. Embrace your future with confidence and passion. I believe in you.